Hello, everybody. Welcome back here, and welcome to the new subscribers. Happy that you are here. Hopefully, this report helps you out. Where should I begin? Where should I begin? Did a lot of study which is involved with this energy that's gonna be coming up in there. If you felt it last night in the afternoon, one of the shifts are happened since Venus moved into Scorpio. That is a one way of you begin to determine the false love and the real love. You might be gonna feeling for some of you that gonna be feeling like escaping the matrix, and I'm talking about like you find what's real and what it's not. But that can trigger you on both sides. What I mean by both sides, talking about the real love in you without you fantasizing things, projecting things, and so on, because you find out how bad it is when you're in a relationship with someone who fantasize or projecting things and not being real. And this is going to be taking this cleansing as Venus is in the Scorpio right now, taking at that side. But also you may going to look at it, the issues within there, what you're authorizing in yourself. What I mean by authorizing within yourself, your intuition can authorize the false, or your intuition can authorize the reality. And since throughout the day, that's going to be ending by night, which is about 11 o'clock, people can have better energies in there, because until 10 o'clock, the moon is going to be squaring the sun. If you follow the yesterday's report, that was talking about the last pieces that you're going to missing of the puzzle is the last new moon in Scorpio. And talking about this in there, there's going to be some challenges in a way. There's going to be some situations in a way, but uh, working within you, it is the best part of realizing what is the truth inside of you, what is the reality, and what's better energies as the moon walks into a Virgo. It puts you back into reality, go back into the land. You can't just I'll be out there in the air or down in the earth. Come back, see the real problem, the serial issues in the earth up here. And since we're talking about with this, I'm gonna bring you the chart, and we're gonna go through the day. All right. Ooh, pretty big chart here. All right. It's the bottom. Um, Technical challenges, but there we go. Have to adjustment. Now that's better. All right. So here is the chart. As you see it, midheaven in the morning, it's gonna be at Virgo at 7 o'clock in the morning. The moon it's right in here at 13 degrees. So basically, she already gonna be past overnight that perfect square of squaring Mars and squaring the Sun. And that's how you're gonna be determined that over the hump energies of, okay, I got to the problem, which is that's gonna be um, the energies that you're gonna be looking at the last puzzle, not the last piece of the puzzle, and now you're gonna be working at to see what you can do. Be mindful about those energies, because usually those energies can trigger intuition and authority. This can trigger mother-father situations inside in there from within, because the sun represents the father, the moon represents the mother, and all related to that, including emotions towards parents or parents' energies in there. So you may gonna have some really thoughts of what it is, what's going on. And talking about Mars, which is Mars is also a part of the inner child within you. That can be also triggers within things that not spoken properly, the situations that has not been said, and so on and so on. So talking about with this energies, just be mindful that even if you go to work, someone who has a relationship with you, they're based of somewhere, maybe based of teacher, based of thoughts, and so on. This is why at work they say, please, no personal relationships, but you have these friendships, you have this workflow, and you getting along with people and so on, and they're based out of something. And if you don't get the same relationship at work as you used to, just be mindful. It is the collective energy, so don't take things personally. So talking about of this, it's gonna be remind you to maintain the balance. We're talking about 8 o'clock in the morning in there. You need to understand that is a what the workflow will be inside, because that is the 10th house. You're probably at work, and this is why if you pay attention at work right now, currently everyone tries to maintain some kind of balance, some situations to make it better, to be better than the previous year, and so on and so on and so on. You feeling it also, this balancing out in there, just to go over the hump and see what we can do about the new year comes in. But with that being said, the ascendant is going to be with the sun, and you're going to be looking at that energies of authority, intuitions, because the intuition is going to be at the highest point right now in there. She's going to be pretty much at 12 o'clock as you look at it, this energy here at Virgo. And that is going to be squaring the sun and Mars, but the Mars and sun is Mars is still squaring Saturn in there, kind of like a things that needs to be worked out, things that needs to be learned. And since Pluto is squaring Venus in there, that it's in Scorpio, and Venus is opposing Jupiter, this is like a Zeus and Antina at an opposite side of things. They don't want to change. Nobody wants to change perspective. Nobody change things inside. You need to understand that throughout looking within the mysteries, things can't work out. And what I mean by that, you're going to find out in the next hour, which is midheaven is with Venus. And what I'm talking about here is that direct conflict here of Venus and Jupiter. There, it's right there. To remind you, Jupiter is retrograde. Those are the lessons in the material world that gonna help you to proper set mindset from your spirit. Okay, the spirit gives the power to the soul. The soul talks within your mind, and your mind gets the proper set. But you need the confrontations to see the other side. But the other side can choose to look at it behind the veil, behind the mysteries, which is Saturn, and goes and sends you the feedback. Or if there is a conflict and no talk and no communications, no change on the characters and the characteristics and the behaviors, you're going to be find out that those are the things that they're not going to work out. So real communications, because Venus it is sextiling with Mercury, and Mercury it's trining with Jupiter. So instead of confrontations, please choose that power of communications. All right. So with that being said, in the next hour, the ascendant goes into Capricorn. Midheaven it goes into Scorpio, opposing Uranus in there. But midheaven is going to be sextiling the moon, and the moon is going to be trine with the ascendant, talking about things on Earth. The things on Earth are going to be moved one way or another. It doesn't matter what's going to happen. It is all about you to go and evolve. There is got to be an order. You need to understand that all three earth signs, they are about order. Okay? We're talking about Taurus is more about the material order. Virgo, it's more about the physical, but also the specifically we're talking about the mental state as well, because that's where the Mercury is. But when it comes to a Capricorn, Capricorn, it is about really the order that it should be on Earth and what is the order is. If the order is not right, things is not gonna move right. But what order you follow? That is the biggest questions you're gonna be asking yourself. But either way, it has to be an order, one way or another. Otherwise, it's only a chaos and no evolution at that point. So, talking about the next hour, which is that's going to be at 11 o'clock, midheaven going to a Sag. There is going to be this energy of expressions. It's like, you know what? I see these energies. I see these situations. I don't know what is it going on. I don't know what these things are. At the same time, the divine energies between Jupiter, the Sun, and Mars is going to comes in and it's be like, you know what? Maybe you should look at this. And talking about a authoritative figures in there, it's gonna bring you and inspire. It's the same time you're gonna feel like you should inspire people in there with something, with situations. Be also be a good listener because by a good listener you can see what the people are missing. You can explain in there of what the stories are. Currently, since Mercury is at Capricorn, Capricorn is more evolved within the spirit, within the spiritualities in there. And he wants to have these cardinal changes in the world. Don't forget about it. The Capricorn is also the public servant. All right. So, talking about in the next hour, right now we have the midheaven and the sun comes in, that authority comes in. Be mindful about this energy with the authority and the intuition. What are you authorizing and what are you not? What your conflict is? And if you look at it in there, there is these divine energies with the sun and Mars coming down right here at Uranus, but Uranus is trining with the moon. So if you go through the universe, you can talk to your intuitions and resolving this heated internal argument. But be mindful, this internal argument can turn to external argument with others, like not accepting the views of others. Okay, because the other people's view they're expressing their intuition towards you. How you gonna approve it? That it's entirely up to you. But it's the same time when somebody tells you, "Hey, this is your responsibility. Do it." The intuition is like rejecting that authority. So be mindful about this stubbornness in there because both this duality signs in there, which is that is a Sag and Virgo, sometimes they're very stubborn. But throughout the stubbornness, they're learning to look at it, both issues, which is that's what they are, duality signs. Okay, for it. So it's gonna be a very good tinkering, mustering energies that in a good way. If there is no problem, you do not know how strong you are. But when the problem comes in, you have to look at both issues of the problem and resolve it. Very, very beautiful energy because Uranus is here evolving and he's retrograde. That's mean you are going to recycle some experiences. So talking about the next hour, midheaven is going to be at the end of Sag. That is going to be triggered ascendant right here, but also Neptune. What you see, you're gonna rising those issues of what you seek. But what you see right now, since Venus is going into the underworld, in there you're gonna be seeing the energies, the positiveness of going down there in the rabbit hole, but you're also gonna see the work that it needs to be done, and What is the secrets in there? What is this secretivity? What is this mystery? What is these situations? Usually, through those things, people going into read some books about the occultism, about astrology, about trying to find out things that it's outside. I need to understand that Venus trining Saturn. We're talking about a very, very mysterious secret knowledge. So if you have this Venus Saturn trine in your chart, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, and you're probably gonna be getting this energy of ignition, but currently this ignition is to bring you even into higher to the next state. So if you're using this energy of Venus being in Scorpio, that is gonna be like, I know what I'm going down deep. I know what I'm getting in myself in there. But be mindful, you're going also there to go ahead and improve yourself and change yourself. This is why the reason of Pluto and Venus are in square right now, pushing you to a transformation. All right, talking about the next hour, the ascendant is going to be at Taurus. That's going to be squaring Pluto and opposing Venus. Yeah, the issue you're going to be learning it in there, and those issues are coming and rising in there. But if you see it, you pay attention here, Venus is going below the horizon. That's mean like, okay, let me dive in. Let me go and look in there. This time I spoke about this yesterday. Yesterday I talked about how big the 12th house is, and here about the North Node. We should look at also the 6th house. The 6th house is about always below the surface, but that 6th house in there, if you take moments inside of you, that is about the things they need to heal. And as you see it here in your chart, okay, it is beginning of Leo, goes all through Virgo, through Libra, and portions of Scorpio. That is a 4 zodiac signs, guys. So basically, you can look at it a portions of all directions, of all the energies, while the earth and air, they are dominant in that. And when I look at it and those energies in there, you're gonna find out what you have to be healed, as far as a love, as far as a energies that are working within your intuition. That is gonna help you because if this squaring towards the sun is gonna comes in, and one of the authorities said like, "Hey, look at yourself. What do you need to do? What are you gonna do though? What are you going to do?" And that is a very good hour. If somebody tells you, point out your own mistakes, not faults, but mistakes. Take it as a mistakes. It's a challenges. Look at midheaven. Midheaven is in Capricorn, and 10 Uranus is here at Taurus. So you see that triangle right here? That is going to be establishing these synchronizations energy as a aha moment. Because if somebody tells you the truth, what are you going to do? You're going to be triggered and create a conflict, or you're going to be, oh, wait a minute, let me take a look inside of me. As you see it right here, there is also the angel wings right here, right now, currently made from Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Ascendant, and Saturn. That is about breaking the limitations. Communications, growth, go behind the veil and put the love in on it to see the real issues inside of yourself. That could be also related to something to do with the collective, but the collective is collective. We see it in the next hour in the midheaven at Capricorn. It is squaring Venus in there, but it also it's trining the ascendant at Taurus. You're gonna find out that the transformations in the material world is gonna be coming in. If you've been expecting transformations, if you did your inner work in there, that is gonna be comes in and shows you, yes, here is, and you're gonna find pretty soon the situations. But first you have to learn. First you have to learn, and Pluto is not gonna let it go. Once that energy right here inside of you it's resolved, then all that energy is right here is gonna begin to flow. Right now it's just learning how to flow and how to operate it. You can't be an operator of a machine until you don't have to learn what the machine, how to operate it. So what do you have to do first? Learn. But the machine is you, operator is you as well. So talking about that 4 p.m., the ascendant isn't Gemini right here. It's going to be opposing the sun and squaring the moon usually during this time of hours and situations when the moon is down below in the fourth house and the sun is down below in the sixth. And there is a square with the ascendant in oppositions. Usually that is one of the situations at home are not doing well. This is usually one of the men backs at home at work and there, and the wife begins soon he's pull his shoes out. He's like, oh, you should have done this, you should have done, look at this, look at that, and all the problems. The men also have problems. He's been doing all day work. He needs to break. And if you have not learning this, there's going to be a huge kind of like a triggers in there. So if you masculine energies in there, or you're with your feminine energy, if you're a man but with feminine energy, look at it inside of you. Well, why you've been doing this? Because throughout the day you overcome this energies, these situations, and so on, and now it's like you come in it and it's like blah 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 blah. But only you see that energy. You're exposing that energy, but you're not working with that energy because that energy is just rising on the horizon. But since the moon is down at the house, the intuition is at home, that it creates that issue because you feel that you are right. The only way you can be right if you look at it, the universe, what is bringing all this, and use that universal energy to connect into the sun. The sun is connecting to the midheaven that is in Aquarius. Take a new way, new approach. And then that energy is right here is going to be leading to the ascendant, which is going to give you the answers you've been looking for. Usually, a nice, let's go for a coffee, works better than you start yamming from the door at home. All right, so talking about the next hour, it's about family, of course. Issues within the family, who doesn't have it, right? But talking about the energies is, as you see it here in your chart, little bit look like the Star of David, and there is the divine energies all over the place, and the conflict in there, and so on. If you have nice and peaceful talk at the family, you give it a good example of how to resolve the issues in the family. If you cannot have it, which is ascendant is opposing Mercury, usually during this ascendant, you don't care if the kids are listen or not. You actually, some people, when they're angry, they like to express it in the front of the kids so the kids to know the truth and all kind of like histories and all that. But when we're talking about those energies, if you took time, it's like, you know what, let's go out for a coffee and let's talk about the real things. What is it going on and how we can resolve it? Where does that come from, though? You see these blue lines to the emotions in there in the water sign. Since Venus is here, Venus sees how the way the issues to be. That's what the love is there. You put the love into the darkness so it can shine the things that it needs to be. But since the ascendant is at Scorpio and midheaven, it's still in Aquarius, but have these connections with Saturn, that is about let's cross this boundaries for better family to come. You do that, you see it right now in the next hour, how beautiful the energies are here. Okay, but what if you do not? Okay, so you see this conflict here with the authority with the midheaven and Pisces. You see this Mars aggravating here with the midheaven, but also that is a with the moon that it's opposing midheaven and Neptune, which is going to have reflections within. So it's all about how much spiritual maturity you're gonna have throughout the day. You can choose to see these beautiful energies within the family and acting on that energies, acting on this angel wings in there, or acting of this intense energies and internal conflicts. So, talking about this, if you did the right things, you guys see it. I mean, midheaven, it's at pretty much at the beginning of areas, but there is also Neptune here at Pisces. The right emotions, did the right thing, the right transformations happened, and there is no internal conflict up here. As you see at the midheaven and Neptune, they are empowering Venus as well up here. And Venus takes this synchronized energies at this point. But if you have not done it, that transformations, you have these oppositions with the transformations, and that brings this energy down here into Venus. But at the same time, right here, if you see the moon, it is opposing Neptune and it's squaring the sun. That energy is going to be affecting you as well. So talking about the next hour, when the ascendant goes into Leo, I don't grow, you have not mature, you have not this, you have not that. Stay away from somebody who says you're not mature. They have not matured, so they can learn how to talk to you. Personal advice in there. If you don't have a honest, peaceful communications, that's mean that you need some maturity in there, mature talk. But healing is gonna be the primary energy right here. Midheaven is together with Chiron, and that Chiron right here, it is powerful. It helps your intuitions to heal, you to learn. That energy works together with Uranus, which is the universe is teaching you the right situations, so you can have the right visions for the right transformations in you. Then the universe it brings that energy back into the authority, and the authority, once you see all this, you authorizing those energies to heal and having a new beginning with the intuitions inside of you. That is going to be the energies that's going to comes in to give you this powerful wisdom, and that wisdom is going to be felt after we're talking about after 2 hours. It's a preview about this. Talking about in the next hour, the ascendant is really is going to be squaring this. So that's what, if you're an archetype of this, I'm the king, I'm the queen, and it's going to be my way. You're going to find out there is always some other bigger authority. Or as when they say at some of the movies, there is always a bigger fish in the ocean. So talking about this energies, midheaven is gonna create these issues with Venus about the love, and this is what I was talking about. That if your love is about material things, material possessions, indulgement in there, and so on, you have not grown, you have not matured yet. So this is gonna be a huge triggers at this time. But talking about this, it also give you the resolutions, you to talk, you to communicate, you to seek behind the veil. That energy is right here, that it's gonna be piled, it's gonna be combined with Jupiter. Jupiter says, "You're not grow, you have not done. When you grown up, come to me, we can talk grown up. Otherwise, I don't see the reason." And Pluto says, like, "I don't see the reason here. What should I do? What should I go?" Be mindful about those energies in there because you can create more mass if you have not mature. But at the same time, if you are talking with immature personalities in there, um, don't point out that to it, but have them to look themselves. Because if you tell them directly, they're not accepting. But if you tell them, okay, what do you think? How about you look within yourself? What do you think is these actions that you do it and based on what? How do you act? How do you behave? I'm not going to say anything. I just want you to take a look, take your time, look inside of it, and let that energy there. That's the wisdom. All right. Well, if you did that, the wisdom's doing its work. I mean, if you pay attention of these energies up here for it, that was it during the Leo season. That wisdom that comes in. Currently, the moon, it's already in that conflict um, with the sun and with the Mars. There is only the divine energies right now. They're acting within the authority. You put the divine in there to happen what it's supposed to happen. I surrender to the universe. I cannot deal with this. I let the things in hands of God, and so on and so on. But as you see it, the moon is looking at the same way. So if you find the solutions through the situations, everything's gonna be okay. If you don't, though, you have not matured on these positions, because maturity is also Leo's energy. But looking at the midheaven, the inner work that you did, if you did the right way, either if there was success or no success, you're gonna be finding out that what can prevent you, but also what helped you and where you need to go. You see the both sides of the extremes, and you see what is the right situations, so that way you can have a better life. So talking about the next hour, which is that gonna be a 11 o'clock, you see that the ascendant is at Virgo. But that energy, as I said, is not anymore conflicting, but you're going to be reminding about this conflict that was between intuitions and authority. And this is the time when you should not replaying all this within yourself. Because usually, if you bring in those issues in there, if you bring those situations, you kind of like you are the right, you are the right, you are the right, or so on and so on, that can create some more additional complications. And you're not going to get in there. But if you solve the issues, if you're matured, if you got in the right things, look what happens. The moon, it has that energies with Uranus, that it's going to Neptune, to Pluto, and goes into your midheaven, to your inner work. And that's giving you this divine energies to Mercury and Venus. All there is that you use the divine energies inside of it within yourself. You use that intuitions to tell you the right things, to remove the certain situations from your life, to get that proper transformations inside of you, the right communications inside of you, and that brings that love that overcome its darkness, because love can heal everything. But if you don't understand the proper way of love, if you think about other things that they are love, but they are not, then the problem comes in and the issues comes in. And we are going to be working it in the next pretty much quite a few weeks. When Venus transitioning to Scorpio, you're going to see it, how the things is going to get to unfold up here. Thank you guys for watching, and appreciate you so much. And come back tomorrow for another astrogravitational report. Be love, guys.